Camera's rolling. How you doing, guys and gals? This is Doug Wilson from YHCK Outdoors. Y'all know I've been struggling with exactly what to call the company lately, because we're getting into other things now at YHCK Customs. You know, knife design. I got 3 knife designs out there. Bushcrafting, survival, prepping, you name it. We work with a lot of different companies. We're reviewing gear now. We're reviewing knives, etc., etc., etc. So I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. He said, why don't you follow suit with some other channels and do what people understand? I said, well, that makes sense, you know. So that's what I did. That word outdoors is already being used by several channels at the end of their main, name, and I think it works well. It flows off the tongue well, and it gives people an understanding of some of what we do here at YHCK Customs. Okay, so welcome to YHCK Outdoors. I know I changed it a lot. I don't think it's going to change anymore. I don't think so, but you know me, hey, I changed my mind a lot. I want to tell you a story real quick. A couple of years ago, I had a knife maker, a knife builder, contact me and basically ask me to put my sheaths on his knives. He said, you got a really cool organic look. I know your sheaths are tough. I want to put them on my knives, and I think that will really benefit both of our companies if we collaborate in that manner. I said, okay, great. I said, send me one of your knives and I'll check them out. This is the knife he sent me. This is the Timberhawk Bushcrafter. Pete Kohler at Dark Timber Custom Knives is the guy who built this knife. I mean, you pretty much already know that. Well, I wasn't satisfied when I received this. I was floored. I was absolutely floored. He gave it to me as a gift. He said, you keep it. He said, this will mark the beginning of our relationship, and it has gone great for the last, 2+ years. I wasn't satisfied with just putting my sheaths on his knives. I said, I got to do something for this guy, okay? So I contacted Chris Tanner. I had already had a couple of reviews on his channel of my sheath systems. I said, Chris, you got to put this guy's knife on your channel. If you don't, it'll be a big mistake. And he was a little trepidatious at first because he really didn't get into custom knives at the time, okay? But he did it. He did it for me. He said, because it's you, I'm going to do it. And I tell you what, after that review, the rest is history. We are where we are now, and things have gone great the last, 2+ years. I don't know how long it's been, actually. So this morning, I'm talking to Pete, and he says, hey, Doug, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to put out a public announcement about Dark Timber Custom Knives on your channel. I said, great, no problem. I'll do that for you, brother. I am completely honored to be working with Dark Timber Custom Knives and that whole team, that core group of guys that keeps everything rolling. Peter Kohler, Hezekiah Minacho, Dave Raffersberger, myself. Dave Raffersberger is Pete's leather sheath guy, and he's a phenomenal leather worker. I think he's one of the best to come along in several years. Every time I see one of his pieces, I think back to when I was working with leather and the smell and the organic nature of the whole thing, and I tell you, it brings back good memories. So thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. I am Pete's Kydex guy. Hezekiah is Pete's, hype guy. He's going to be doing some other things as well, I'm sure. But I am completely honored and fortunate to be working with these guys. There's some information that we need to put out on this video about Pete's knives and the availability thereof. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are upset that they can't get a Dark Timber custom knife. I've had guys call me and say, hey, can you get me one of these knives? Can you say something? I really can't do that because Pete is so inundated with work, it's unbelievable. Rest assured, Pete has things in the works that are going to make knives more available by September. I want to say this about his current list of customs, okay? Pete's current list of customs, those guys that are on the list now are going to get their knives. It's written in stone, it's going to happen. You just got to give him some time to get the work done, because he's got other irons in the fire to plan for the future to make knives more accessible to the guys that want them. So if you're getting a little upset and you're sending Pete emails and he's not answering, don't let that dissuade you from supporting that, Dark Timber Custom Knives, the company. Don't let that dissuade you. He's busy. That's it. That's the reason. And I tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here, I can't even get a hold of him sometimes. I mean, I got a sheet that I'm making, and I need to know what the color is or what he wants on it, and I can't get a hold of him. It's hours before I hear back from him. He's very busy. So I want everybody to know that your knives are going to be made. Okay? This is coming directly from Pete. He just asked me to put a public service announcement out on my channel because there's a lot of guys who watch my channel who want his knives. I get contacted almost every day about it by somebody. There isn't going to be another list. So if your name is not on the list now for a custom knife, it's not going to go on the list. There is no more list. He may start it up in the future sometime, but he's going to run to the end of the list that he has now and then proceed with the company from there the new way. And here's what he's got planned. He's making batches of specific knives. Say 1 week he's going to work on buffalo fighters. He's going to do nothing but buffalo fighters for 3 weeks. Okay? The next 3 weeks he's going to work on 1911 EDCs. The next 3 weeks he's going to work on grizzlies. Okay? And where these knives are going is DLT trading and knives shipped for free. He's also got something in the works with Bark River that's going to make a grizzly available. It's going to be, well, I tell you, I'm going to let him tell you what it's going to be. Okay? It's going to be a grizzly. It's not going to be completely custom made. Well, actually, it is going to be completely custom made, but he's taking steps to make them faster. So he's working with Bark River Knives, who have the resources to do that, to put out some grizzlies in a consistent manner. So every grizzly is going to be a custom-made grizzly. So don't mistake me on that part. So again, I want to reiterate, the knives that Peter is making now, other than the list that he is still working on, he's still working on the list. If you're on the list, you're going to get your knife. But no more names are going on the list. Just to reiterate, the knives that he's making now are going to be going to DLT Trading and knives shipped for free, and you're going to have to buy them off of their sites. This increases the availability of Dark Timber Custom Knives across the board. So that's what we want you guys to know, that you're going to be able to get Dark Timber Custom Knives. It's just you're going to have to buy them through DLT Trading and knives shipped for free. But you have to remember now that Pete is still a custom knife builder, meaning when he builds a knife, this is a dying art. Forging metal is a dying art. There's not a lot of guys left out there who do it well. Pete does it very well. It takes a long time to build a knife the way Pete builds them. completely by hand. Just like I build Yellow Hawk custom Kydex sheath systems completely by hand, he does the same thing with a knife. And believe me, I'm not comparing my sheaths with his knives, because it's like apples and oranges and, you know, boats and pencils. They're so far apart, it's unbelievable. This is the reason I put my sheaths on dark timber custom knives. This right here, these knives. So I want you to know that this thing with DLT trading and knives shipped for free, they're going to be batches of knives. 25 in a batch, 20 in a batch. He's still a custom knife maker, and it takes him a long time to build one knife. So you have to keep that in mind. These aren't going to be big batches of knives. They're going to go to DLT trading, and I'm sure they're going to sell pretty quick. So as soon as you know about it, hop on it. The information that I've just put out is the current, up-to-date information. If you have any more questions, you can contact me, and I'll try to answer them for you. Okay? This is Doug Wilson, Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex, with a public service announcement from Dark Timber Custom Knives. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.